And should be good just like that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get on with it. Got all the leg pieces and everything separated out here. Let me give me just a moment. Let me get some final stuff situated. Hope everyone's doing good today. And this up on my laptop as well, so if anyone decides to pop in the chat. All right. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So we yesterday finished off doing all the top section, the arms, hands, and everything. Today, gonna go ahead and finish off doing the legs, waist, and the backpack sections as well. So yeah, like I said, let's just go ahead and jump on in. So I'm gonna dump out all these pieces, details and stuff like that, separated. Same with these reds. And I'm gonna keep you over here for now. And then all these dark blue sections here. And so go ahead and start pulling out some parts. So we build the foot first. This foot piece is absolutely massive too. And so it's going to be this big thruster area here, and one of these yellow detail, just like that, and should just line up in there. Yeah, cool. And we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna double up on the building of these. I don't want to be streaming for another 2 hours tonight, I think. So we'll go ahead and knock those out there. And then you flip these sections over, and these little yellow accent details will go clip right on, okay, get those lined up with those pegs here, which actually, let me go ahead and do some clipping as well on those. There we go. Make that hopefully a little easier to disassemble when we get around to it. Which I think on the next stream will be when, I don't know if, actually, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna stream that part or I'll just film like a work in progress video of the actual customization and stuff like that. I don't know. It may just be easier if I do that off stream, depending on the kind of stuff I run into, kind of hurdles and stuff. But we'll see. And go ahead and pop those in there. Cool. And we'll come over to our gray sections. We need that piece. Yeah, that piece. Where's the other one? There's the other, and yeah, there it is. And again, clip off some of these here. And so this piece will just slide up in here. Do that for this one as well. And then should just, I don't think it has like the orientation of it or anything really matters too much. Yeah. Snaps down in there. And right here. There we go. Okay, we got our two bottoms of our feet knocked out. And we're gonna take some of these dark blue sections here and these yellow parts. And so this should just squeeze on in there like that. Just like that. And then we fit those over the top like so, I believe. Let me see. Make sure. Yeah. Yeah, those just kind of slide in over there. No pegs to worry about cutting or anything like that. Those should be pretty easy to remove for painting later. And cool. And then we'll take the tops. Looks like it's the tops of the feet. And double check on some stuff here. Yeah, so let's go ahead. Some of these connection points, we want to go ahead and just cut away at those just a little bit. May not worry about all of them, but definitely just make cool. And I think they'll still be pretty easy to disassemble when we need to. And just push out down like that. Actually, let's see. this front foot section, I may set that back just a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead, just for good measure, let's trim these off as well. There we go. Now that should be a little easier to remove later on. There we go. And same here. Let's go ahead. Clip all these out. Should be all good there. Then we'll fit this too. Again, the fitting of this particular kit is really good. As far as like everything feels really nice and secure. Which is good if you're just snapping it up and like just panel lining and stuff like that. But for breaking down and repainting and doing all that, definitely want to clip some of those nubs out. Cool. We got the feet knocked out there, and then these ankle armor kind of sections. Yeah, we'll go ahead, clip those. Clip those. And those just slide in over the top here. And boom, got some big old feet. And now, do a little cleanup here real quick. Now we're going to go ahead and build some of the leg inner frame. So all these sections here. Yeah. Cool. And so I'm not going to worry. These will be sections where I'm not really worried about clipping all these to disassemble. I mean, most of this, this piece will be painted all as one when we get around to doing that. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any reason to clip the nubs in these. So go ahead, those just sandwich together like so. Same with these, just build two of them. And then we're gonna take these sections here, and where's that last one? There. Now these, I will clip the nubs of so I can kind of disassemble and make sure I get a good even coating of paint on these. So we'll go ahead, let's get that all. And even with clipping a lot of these, everything should still be pretty good and secure, I think. So take this section and it's just gonna fit right through here. Nice and snug. And that should be, yeah, you can just twist that back out. And gonna need these little kind of square tab pieces. Where's the other one? Ah, there we go. These little square tab pieces are gonna fit. Is it here? Is that what it's trying to tell me? Ah, no, like that. There we go. And yeah. Okay, so that's got to be for, I'm assuming, part of the transformation and everything. So you have this little sliding piece here. And then again, I'm gonna go ahead, just clip some of these nubs a little bit, just to make everything easier for disassembly when we get to it. Yeah, and speaking of which, that comes out actually really nice and easy, so mission accomplished, but it's still, you know, pretty secure feeling. Go ahead, do the same thing on this side here. And do that again. Same kind of deal. Slot that in there. This just tabs into that little groove, and then like so. Well, if I can get everything lined up at least. There. What am I missing? Ah, there we go. Cool. And clip those, clip that. There. Got those sections all done. And then we're gonna, let's see, where's that last, there it is. Go ahead and don't think I'll need to worry about clipping these sections or anything. So that'll just kind of twist into here. Yeah, just like that. And sandwich on like that. Yeah. And this piece will be pretty easy just to paint as one solid piece. No need to worry about breaking that down. Go ahead and get this other one done up. Got those. And then those get sandwiched into these pieces. So this should just slide in like, line that up a little more. There we go. And so, yeah, slides just like that in there. And then this other piece, I will clip those down just a bit. And then those just sandwich together like so. Should be pretty. Yeah. Cool. And actually, I mean, this piece we may actually, well, no, that does come down. That transforms for the, that's for, I'm assuming, the transformation there. But should be all Gucci with that. And boom, boom, boom. And then we'll just basically do that again for this side. There we go. Okay. Those are all knocked out. And then we'll build the, I guess, what would you call that? Like the thigh armor section. Let me see. Oh, there's those pieces. And this little groove cut to the bottom like so, snaps right in. And same with here. I will clip these just a little bit though, because I may end up painting these separately. Yeah. Well, I'll leave that one. I'm not worried about that. And those. Boom. And those are nice and secure. Which I may even be able to just paint this as one piece, honestly. Let's go ahead, but just to be on the safe side, clip those, and then again, that little kind of cutout section here to the bottom, sandwich on in between there, and so we've got our pretty much most of our leg sections knocked out. And so we'll go ahead and start with the right leg. So make sure, yeah, that, and get all of our thigh armor. Make sure all that lines up right. Yeah. They should both pretty much build it the same. There'll probably just be a few little differences here and there. And so take, okay. So this section will just like that. Should be like so. Let's see. Grab one of these sections here and kind of clip this just a little bit. It's because I'm see if I can. It's doing that all backwards. So that'll go there. Like so. Snap in. And then okay, maybe if I actually pay attention to the manual, it's like, how is that supposed to work? Okay. These sections need to be added on. There we go. All right, back in business. And then that just fits into the tabs like that. And slide that on over. We got one leg like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just do the same for the other side. Kind of speed run this section a little bit. So this is the right leg, and that just turned. So for the left leg, you don't even have to really turn it. Just fits into there, nice and easy. So we got our right and our left leg there. And go ahead, start adding on some of the armor that we're gonna, of course, seems to be the theme of this build, just clipping the nubs away. Should just like so. And take one of these sections here. Oop. I'm just getting myself all turned around. Let's see. Yeah. this should just slide on like so. Make sure that's and then this just kind of slots in there. And take our other side. Again, clip some of these nubs off. Should just snap in like that, and then you have this piece that has some movement to it, but again, I'm assuming that's all for the transformation, which won't really be anything we're gonna deal with. And then I'm gonna go ahead and build up this side as well, so just kind of clip, and clip that. There we go. And we'll just basically do a repeat of what we just did on the other side there. Snap in like that. Should just all snap together like so. Cool. And good there. Got our right and our left. And now we're going to go ahead and start working with the lower leg over here. And so for these, looks like we take this section here, which, let's go ahead, clip some of those back just a little bit. Oops. No, we're good. And so this section should just kind of, is that right? Ah, okay. So this. Will okay. So that'll fit into there. And then take this section and I'll pretty much kind of just slide in like that. And let's see, is it here? Yeah, that should be the second part there. So which I don't really think much of that will need to be messed with, but we have some pieces we need to fill in there. So we have these. Yep. And those will just go together like so. Also have a section here, and looks like this. And so that goes like that. And make sure that these are, yeah, like so. There we go. And then we have this section here. Okay, this will be part of the transformation, it seems. And so that'll kind of just slide, which, since I'm not going to be displaying this once it's painted, transformed, I may be able to omit this J4, H4, and N13 part. But I'll see once we get everything else all snapped up. Yeah, because I think that should, when you do the transformation, that'll just kind of swing down and it'll be a little extra booster. And let's see. Okay, so I had this backwards actually. So yeah, this whole section here, see if I can get it to come undone. Should have been this piece. And so here, no, this, there we go. Had it backwards, I was like, wait a second, why are the beam cannons facing inside of it? That doesn't make any sense. Well, that's why it doesn't make any sense. There we go. But thankfully, these all still fit in the same way, just like that. And then take this section, and that's what'll slide into there. So let's cut those just a little bit. Cut that just a little bit, and I'll leave those because those don't actually connect into the other side. They just connect into this little section here. And let's see. Make sure everything's lining up good. There we go. Cool. We got that segment knocked out. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Should be just there. Go ahead and also get this side. Cool. That should just slide in there. This slots in here like so, and sandwich that together, and all good. Got our legs. We're almost ready to start standing up. The rest will be those bits there. Okay, and so should be able to probably do these same time here. Little thruster vents just fit right on in here. It's little venting sections. Same with these red vent sections. Should just kind of fit into there. And they fit, but may have to do some modification when I take them apart to pop those out again. Shouldn't be the hardest thing. Let's see. And we have armor to cover up these lower sections. And that just slides right into place like that. Same thing on this side. Actually, bring it down. There we go. Slides back up. Got those all nice and secure. And then we need to go ahead and build up the rest of these beam cannons and put on the rest of our armor sections. So all these should just fit down in like so. The only one that's going to be a little different be the one that fits in here, and it's got little angle sections that it will pop out and pull out. I'll just kind of gently push it in there. That may be another thing I have to kind of do a slight little mod to get out. But go ahead, get these all filled with their little yellow bits. And cool. And then make sure these line up right. So should be this one goes like that. Yeah. That one like that. This one has the 3 prongs here, so it goes up top just like so. And then this one, no. Yes, yeah, there we go. And boom, got that side. Go ahead and knock it out over here. Simple as. And then we're gonna go ahead and we have these 2 sections. I'm gonna clip this piece because I do want to paint this probably a separate color than this main armor section. I'll probably paint this like in a inner frame color or in a metallic or something like that. Then we have this that just connects on like so. We'll kind of clip these pegs just a bit, make our lives somewhat easier. And fit these little tab sections in like that, and nice and secure. Cool. It's one leg knocked out. We'll go ahead and do the same on this side here. And clip these. And just slot that in. Pop. There we go. Now we've got our legs. And should be able to go ahead and connect our feet. So all we have now is the waist unit. Damn, these are huge. Cool. So got our big old legs. Now we make our big butt and our little backpack. This waist section. Go ahead and separate some of my parts here. This has probably what I feel like is going to be one of the harder wire modifications. Not exactly 100% sure how I'm going to do it, but I'll point it out here in a second. Go ahead and kind of move all these details off to the side. This will actually go on towards the end, according to the manual. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it here. So this teeny tiny little latch piece. I think that's probably for where if I had to guess, that's where the action base for this will connect. So have this section here, and then this piece here, and that should just, yeah, locks in like that. And then this slides, and yeah, actually just being able to look there, that's definitely for where the action base will slide up into. There, that just goes all the way in like so. And these two pieces, let's see. How does this go again? Yeah, just like that. Those just kind of hug each other a little bit. And it's this piece here. And then this goes right up through the center to secure those. And then we come around here on this piece. And just slots right in. And we take this, and this will be another piece. I'm not worrying about clipping the connecting sections too much because I'll probably just paint this all as one section. And have two of those. And so these just slide in like so. Do it for this side as well. And those will go right up under here. And then you can, I think it says to, yeah, turn. And now those are nice and locked into place. So it won't be falling out or anything like that. Yeah. Turn till it stops, and then, yeah, that's not coming out. Cool. And go and grab this yellow piece here. And then this is a section where I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna do this. There's these little wire details that run down through here. They are hollow on one side. And I want to clip and then drill and put, like, obviously a new piece of wire, or like an actual wire or something like that in there. It's just getting that angle for the drill. This side probably won't be too hard, but this side here, haven't really figured out exactly how I'm gonna do that just yet, but it shouldn't be too complicated, I don't think. I'm gonna go ahead and clip some of these connection points just a bit. Clip that one too. So this side, and this will just kind of, should just slide right in like so. Yeah. And come over here. Yeah. Like that. And then just sandwich together there, like so. then this front section here kind of just should just kind of slide in, I think, like that. It's not really like held in. Let's see. Maybe if I pull. What am I doing? I'm silly. You gotta do the red section first. I wasn't even paying attention. So that red section there, and then this just layers over the top like so. And let's see. And this purple section here gets filled in. This little mega beam cannon. And that'll just pop right in there. Awesome. And build some skirting sections. So these red, these parts, and this part, and front armor will just, let's see, yep, just like that. Boom, just like so. And we'll take this, and yeah, this should be the back side. This will just, yeah, there we go. Kind of click it in. There we go. It clicks just like so. Lock that into place. And then let's go ahead, kind of clip these out. Slides in just like that. And this section here. Cool. And then we'll do that for this side also. So go ahead. Prep that. So this just slides, pops in. This, do essentially the same thing, just kind of wedgie it in there. Like that, this, and pops in like so. And line that up. There we go. Got our little front skirts. And I think and on the front skirt here, those just slide in like that. And I have this other little blue piece here. That will lock down in there. now we're going to build our side skirting sections. So all these parts, and let's see this here. And so this goes on this outside. I'm assuming this tab will be has something to do with the transformation. So go ahead like that. Oh, we also need to build these little pieces also. So that, and this. I think it should just go like so. That slides in there. This one slides to the side just like that. And then you close that up with this here. But you know what? Probably not too necessary, but go ahead and kind of clip those as well, just to be on the safe side. There we go. And fit that together, and then they each get one of these little bean cannon details. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side as well. So go ahead, just put that in here. This section feeds in just like so. And this slots in like that. And these get clipped like so, sandwiched together, detail, detail, and so this should be the left, this should be the right. These little sections will flap down. Then we've got this section here, so or I guess this was the left side. I'm doing it backwards. Okay, like that. And these will come down, and let me see if I can clip these just a little bit. There we go. There. And there we go. And then this will come and sit. Oh, sorry, had it backwards again. We'll just kind of sit, pop on like so, and cool. And then this piece will go on after you put the legs on, which while we're here, go ahead and do that. So you want to put them in like so, and then twist, and I think that should lock them into place. Let me make sure. Or is it out to the front? There we go. So like that, and then twist forward, and then same on this side. You gotta put a little bit of, not too much force, but just a little bit like that, and should snap right into place. And that's how get your leg sections all done. Cool. And now we can go ahead and just pop this on in like so. Yeah. And then, yeah, right up under here, that little tab section we put in earlier, that's where your action base will connect. But I may just leave that tab open actually for now. At least it's not really worth messing with at this point. And we can actually go ahead and get this kit standing. Oh, crap. One of the, I guess, down points or downsides to clipping some of these sections before we put any paint or anything like that is they are going to be a little bit they'll be a little bit easy to pop, but like I said, once you get some paint and stuff like that on there, they won't really be too much of an issue. Go ahead, and that just locks into place there. Hey, and now we've got it all standing up. Wow, this is huge. Definitely a lot of plastic, a lot of kit, but really not too complex either. Like the build itself, for the most part, is like very simplistic. There's nothing that's very, I don't know, complicated about it. It's just, you know, big, lots of big pieces. And oh, the side skirts will actually lock in on the side here. So that's kind of nice. There we go. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to finish off with its backpack and then wrap this stream up. It shouldn't take too long. This is probably the simplest part of the whole kit. I do have some of the reflector bits already chopped out, but I haven't decided if I'm gonna bother using those or anything, so I'll probably work on those off camera if I do end up deciding to use them or anything. And let's see, so this side should go here. This should just kind of slide inside like so. This sandwiches together, but I am, of course, gonna clip those just a little bit. And go ahead and we'll do that on this side as well. This section, where are you at? No, not that one. I think it should be these little ones here. Yeah, fits down in like so. And like that. And same with this one here. It's down in like so. And so we got those two sections built up. And let's see. This here will slide in like that. So this has like a sliding down, has a gimmick where it'll slide down, and that's where the reflector bits are stored. So this will be for the thrusters on the back, and then that just gets, and again, let's clip. That should just sandwich together like so. And then go ahead, do the same on this side. That just slots down in there. This. And just like that. And then this will sandwich those pieces in together. There we go, easy peasy. And then you just finish off with these thruster bells. Build 4 of those. And there we go. And just like that. And then these each like that, like so. Same on this one. And same on this side. I don't think those lock, but also I don't think they really need to lock. And go ahead with this final assembly here. Those go on, boom, 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 and then these will just slot into the back like so. And like so. And let's see something here. Okay. And that should be everything all done. Like I said, I do have some of the reflector bits cut out in case I do decide I want to store them in the back of the backpack, but I don't know. I'm not really planning on it, and there wouldn't really be much reason for me to do it. Like, I wouldn't be really displaying them or anything, so I probably will just omit those parts. Same with this piece. On hindsight, I probably shouldn't have shortened. Same with the shield. Not really gonna worry too much about that either. It's cool. It's nice they give it to you, but I kind of like the Psycho Gundam as is, without that shield. It doesn't really even do much either, aside from like you can split in half and it has like the Minovsky craft, but yeah, this kit's already big as is, so probably just rock it with nothing else. Like I said, I am gonna start customizing first by getting rid of like all the plastic cabling details and replacing those with actual cables, springs, stuff like that. And probably around the backpack section here, there is a seam line that comes down. I'll either I'll see about converting that into just a panel line, or I will get some ply plate and try to kind of make a new detail to kind of cover this section while still being able to separate it and paint it and everything like that. But other than that, yeah, should be all good to go. So I'll start breaking some of this kit back down and get to working on the modifications and stuff like that. I may still do some live builds of that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that on here, or I think it may be easier for everyone if I start doing those on Instagram. My Instagram live might be a little easier for people to kind of pop in, pop out, and especially with like the time zone differences and stuff like that. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, yeah, thanks for joining me, hanging out, and hope you had fun listening to my silly little rambles, and expect to definitely see more of expect to see more of this kit in the very near future. Can't wait to start painting it, and I've got the paint scheme all set, planned out too, and I'll share that with you guys all later. But yeah, anyways,